Played game one. I'm not even going to try and recover that. That was just shocking. Circular Spheres, again, really need to see a lot more from them, Jake. Their current iteration of this roster, there's no lethality to it. It feels like a spoon going up against a knife.
Yeah, I think obviously there was a bit of focus on Killerman last week, and I don't want to sort of like dig the heels in. I think he's a good player. He's in obviously a bit of a slump right now.
Sure.
I also feel like, is it a case of he's trying to do too much, either by himself or from the team perspective? Because 21 entry engagements, the next best is Saved, who's 8 and 5. And that's quite a discrepancy. Where's everyone else? Neptune is a fragger. He can push in as well. Why are you only 1 and 0? So it's time for maybe Atlas to start to think about, and this is where it comes as a collective team. It's like, hey, Killer's struggling a little on the entry. Should we try and get some other players in? And also, if he is struggling on the entry, are we getting the trades?
Yeah.
Are we in position to play off of him when he does push in? Because at the moment, it feels like a lot of the time, Killerman's pushing in, dying, and there's no one there for the trade. So that's either the player, or it is also the team and the way they're communicating and setting up and playing off each other. So we're not privy to that information. We don't know. It could just be Killerman playing a ranked solo style, or it could just be, as a collective team, they're struggling overall.
Collectively, they definitely are struggling, period, outside of Killerman. It's just not looked fantastic. We heard from Japer last week, and that might have been the grimmest interview I've had in terms of just the brutal honesty of, it's been shocking.
Yeah, but we did hear from him. We were talking about Killerman, obviously, how much he struggled, and I think Killerman actually had a better game last week in their final play day.
Yeah.
Japer said they've moved him onto sort of more of a relaxed role where he doesn't feel like he has to be the entry every single time. And I think he also might have just sort of fallen into the trap of, my entries are that bad. I need to bring it back up. I need to get kills for my team. And it's sort of, he's gone the extreme of probably taking too many risks at the start of rounds. But we did say that when he gets entries, generally, his team are able to capitalize. It's just about him staying alive.
Well, we're going to go up against a god roster at the moment. Circular Spheres, they have a mountain to climb. There's no doubt about it. GAIMIN Gladiators come into this as heavy favourites. The only points they've lost have been in overtime, and I believe that was only play day 1. So they're 1 point shy of being flawless this stage, Jake. And, I mean, across the board, it's been great, but the iteration of Tuhan has really worked quite seamlessly.
Yeah, he's slotted in perfectly. There's a reason why they made this change. I said it last week as well, and doubling down again after another really good performance from Tuhan in a big game against Chiefs last week. He was ever impressive. His pretty much numbers are perfect across the board. He's essentially rated the best player on the team as the newest member. So, and no one is necessarily just surprised by that at all. And I think other players on the team have started to perform a little bit better this stage as well. Looked at some of the numbers that Sage was putting up, certainly some improved numbers. So we do look at the Saved versus Tuhan head-to-head matchup, and when we looked at the graphic for Circular Sphere, Saved really did stand out as a player who has got some really good stats this stage. This is going to be a whole different kettle of fish, though, when you go up against GG. If you can maintain numbers like that, if you can have positive KD, good on the entry, a good cost against a team like GAIMIN Gladiators, that's when we're really going to stand up and take notice of a stage that he's having.
Yeah, the move from Saved has been disappointing, to say the very least. It's been a very difficult transition for the entire roster, but Saved has well and truly stayed true to his performances throughout stage 1 and even back into last year. Vinny will start to break down the vetoes a little bit here. Again, when we look at this, the conversation is always, it leans GAIMIN Gladiators no matter what, and there are very few maps that Circular Spheres could take them to that would absolutely blow my mind. The fact that I see Labs being banned out by Circular Spheres obviously probably goes to show where they're at right now in terms of GAIMIN Gladiator and their performance. Now, Cafe has not been played throughout stage 2, but this is obviously our first time jumping into it. I think that this is a little scary for me, and I'm only going to go and throw back to a Bleed who looked super confident against their game with Hasib and ended up getting a very rude awakening in the first half. Do you think that could happen here?
It's tough to say. I don't think so. I think, like we said, GG is so good at every map that you can't really win the veto against them. It's not like you're going to throw them off and go to something they haven't prepared for. Obviously, Lair was the second last map, which they ended up banning out, so probably not wanting to show it / maybe don't feel super confident on it yet. But yeah, in saying that, I think historically they're quite a good Cafe team. They know the fundamentals of the game. Fisho's been playing this map for years and years and years. He understands every sort of win condition. And I don't think they're going to struggle at all. But in saying that, Circular Spheres really needed try show something today.
Jake, we're ready. So
okay. I'm ready.
I want a quick one.
Well, GG, you're going to win. There you
GG,
go.
going to win. What's the score? Give me a score.
I thought we were ready. Don't prolong this.
But I want to know a score from you.
7-2.
7-2.
Well, actually, who's starting defense?
Circular Spheres.
Circular Spheres. 7. I'll go 7-3.
7-3, you're going to give him another round.
Yeah.
Jeez,
3-3 first
cheeky.
half and then 4-0 second half.
All right, well, for lack of a better call, I'm so sorry, boys. I keep doing this to you. I need to try and figure out something better. It's Devin Guz.
You know, you can just call us Devin Guz. That's actually fine. I actually prefer being called by our real names than whatever Manic does when he's throwing to you and Jake.
Yeah, on Jake. Don't know where he's getting that prediction scoreline from, mate, but GG have the best attacking win rate in the league. So this is not going to be a 7-3. This should be a 7-1, 7-2. Attacking win rate for them currently sitting at 64%. And funnily enough, CS actually have the worst attacking win rate across the entire league. Less than half that at about 23%. So this should be very one-sided. I understand starting sides can skew things a little bit, but yeah, GG should look pretty clinical here.
Yeah, and it really does come down to how well CS can get off on their feet in this first half. They start on that favored side. They start on that defense. It is Cafe, one of the most infamously defender-sided maps in the pool at the moment. And funnily enough, we actually haven't seen Circular Spheres play this in the last 6 months. Didn't play it in Stage 1, didn't play it in the off-season, haven't yet played it in Stage 2. I could be wrong, but I think this might even be the first Cafe we've seen in the OCE League in Stage 2. We certainly haven't seen either of these teams play it before. And I've just double-checked, yeah, the two maps we have not yet seen in OCE League, Cafe and Lair. It isn't often that we actually get excited for a Cafe, guys. I know it's not your favorite map, but I'm actually pretty interested to see how this map has evolved recently.
No, I agree. Cafe hasn't been played a ton globally as well. I'm having a look at some of the site stats here. Interestingly enough, the second most played defensive site is actually Fireplace and Mining, despite it having the worst defensive win rate at 50%, so something to note. All the other sites, though, sitting around the 60% mark. So despite GG going into this game with a very strong attacking win rate, as you sort of are alluding to, Cafe can be quite strong for defense, and so we'll see how they go about breaking it down. In terms of the bans, due to that Monty brought out, pretty much anticipated in this meta, the Deimos to follow. I suppose Cafe offers quite a few opportunities for vert play with the Deimos, so that certainly makes sense. Valk, again, similar vein with Nitro cells in play and that information that can be garnered. And the Mirror, a staple here on Cafe. So nothing standing out as being too crazy. Maybe if you showed this lineup to someone a couple of years ago, they'd be scratching their head. But
Well, they probably would have been like, "What is this strange masked man?" And here we go. Have a look at some stats.
do we get a budget upgrade this stage?
This is insane. I really love this. That Deimos is the one that I really want to talk about. We've talked about the shield meta to death, but I feel like Deimos has been the silent killer. And on a map like Cafe, I can only imagine what it would be like being an anchor on this bar bomb site playing in Cocktail when you're getting pressured from Skylight. You got frags and stuns and Yin Candelas thrown at you from windows. Meanwhile, Deimos is downstairs in Library trying to kill you through the floor. Not a fun operator to play against on a map with as much verticality as is available on Cafe.
yeah, Deimos sitting at about a 25% pick rate when available. And at a win rate of 46. Pretty much on par with Dockerby, hand in hand, in terms of info gathering.
Talk about operators that have slipped through the pool. On defense, the one that really stands out to me is this Azami. And we're seeing her in tandem with the Castle and the Aruni to try and protect this piano room as much as possible. Now, Brendo is the one to drone that out on the Striker. Honestly, I don't mind Striker on Cafe. You talk about a guy who's got as many projectiles as he can bring. He can bring stuns and frag grenades. And by the way, have a look at the top left-hand corner of your screen. I think that is the most stun grenades I've ever seen on a single lineup in Rainbow Six Siege.
Well, you were casting during the util meta with old Jaeger. Surely back then it was...
It's been 84 years.
15 flashbangs.
24 castle barricades. 4 Goyo canisters. 2 Evil Eyes.
Well, no, it was only the 2 Falcons back then because they were shields.
Very true, very true.
Back in the day.
Oh, here we go, entry from Tuhan, best player in the league at the moment. Brendo and him looking to try and dispatch with Neptune here, and eventually the team kill comes out from Saved. Bit of a mistake, especially as he immediately loses his head afterwards. And yeah, I don't really know what to say for Circular Spheres. They have completely capitulated. They're a player down. And Killerman is now looking for a way to get back to site, but I think GG have pretty much locked him out.
Yeah, a bit of an awkward team kill, although probably wouldn't have changed the result. A decent clear from GG. Japer now to progress forward, looking to make a play. Finds Tuhan over towards Mint. 2 versus 2. with shots on red, but Killman does find a kill. Wedables has that clutch factor about him. 1 versus 2. Info gathered by the defense and a minute on the clock for the clutch.
It doesn't seem like he's got much information as well. He keeps having to check every single corner. Japer's got him. And that's a pretty gnarly 2v3 retake from Japer and Killerman. Certainly looked like it was going to be a GG round, but the defense come up clutch.
Well, that 64% win rate now gets what, chipped down to probably about 62, 61. We'll see how much lower it goes here for GG, but a good start for Circular. Top floor should be strong with that Azami in play, and it largely was. GG tried to send it. Probably an element of disrespect in that play, but you know, more so confidence, I suppose. And it did work out. The combo of Tuhan and Brendo, very dangerous. Team kill comes through, but Tuhan would have gotten that kill. So 3 versus 3 here with 1:30 on the clock, and in fact GG were able to work the advantage, but then the re-aggress here from Japer was really a big difference maker in the round. So too from Killerman up red, seemingly catching both attackers off guard, so maybe indicative that GG didn't have the best of reads, and we're probably spending that time trying to isolate players on site with information, and so yeah, caught off guard there from that re-aggress. May not be the most reliant or reliable game plan going forward from Circular Spheres to have to continue to fight from behind with the re-aggression, but certainly played that situation well and found the win con.
Just to talk about operators again for a second, I'm really liking the Aruni Goyo immediately getting counters brought out on the repick of the attack with the Twitch Brava. The Brava really good against Aruni, the Twitch really good against that Goyo. Here comes a C4 tossed on out. Perfectly lands, but of course no player outside garage. Nice little try there from Killerman. Oh, Sage is on a very long angle, very long and deep angle with the holo, no less.
This is a Macy J play. Wow.
He might actually find something from it. It depends on how patient he is.
Yeah,
he does back off.
No one to flush physics out though, so he will back off. It's not every day of the week. You see pro players on those kinds of angles as Tuhan jumped out upon by Killerman. A lot of discussion in the pre-show about Killerman and his performance so far, especially on entry, but he does have a positive kill this time around. Is that the best of trades though? Losing the info on the pulse, but you do take down Tuhan, arguably the best player in the league, or one of at the moment. So I'd take that.
Yeah, but GG have now got the numbers advantage as Fisho found one moving in from prep. I'm not exactly sure how an anchor is allowed to die so quickly, but look at this. No contest of bakery control here from Circular Spheres. GG have so much control, and Brendo has just waltzed on in to bot red. Peeked the holes into sight and found another pick, but GG do let things falter a little bit. Fisho forcing down that diffuser. It's all up to physics to try and clutch, and he's already found one injure. This smoke will lock Fisho in place, and Fisho's going to be able to cross as well. Awkward for the last player alive, and Sage can just swing him and finish him off. Great round from the Twitch, and a very gnarly attack there from GG.
Yeah, far more clinical there in the transition from mid to late round from GG. That time able to convert the advantage that they were able to chip away at through the mid round. Despite taking Tuhan off the board, Killerman sacrificing his life. Those on site, especially the anchors, just not really able to produce much in the way of a resistance. And so we actually see a re-attempt here from Circular Spheres. This is certainly something that has fallen more and more and more out of fashion from teams defensively to re-attempt sites, but perhaps lacking confidence on the tertiary. At least that's what it screams to me.
Yeah, very strange. Especially because, again, I feel like GG had a really solid read onto that defense, and CS aren't really changing much. And we have no more Pulse. We've got, I believe, the Warden is the only new operator in this lineup. Also got the Aruni saying goodbye to her. Seeing that Brava pick probably scaring them off a little bit. Brava not as useful now against this lineup, but still decent. And the Twitch comes back to deal with the Vulcan canisters. Again, this feels like a really solid lineup for GG. What's more, we've now got Tui here on the Lion. GG seem to read that Circular Spheres are getting very mobile. And that Lion may help contain some of this aggression.
So again, we see the striker here from GG and double util with the flash and frag combo. Neptune aggressing over towards Bakery. And so will be somewhat of a split attack here from GG with a clear up above in combination with some direct pressure to just keep this defense honest. It is Fisher outside currently on the Habana, so he can range hard break to prep and then maybe eventually Bakery itself if he so desires. Too Hard again will post up front door. We saw that last round and the jump out to follow. I would be pretty surprised if we saw that again as VIP gets droned out.
Wow, they're just droning him so many times. He's surely thinking that they're about to push him, especially with that E1D going out, so he's going to burn one of his gas babes very early on in the round. Traditionally, you wouldn't see teams clear VIP until right at the end of that round. I believe that's both Twitch drones taken down. Tui does find the entry, and the E1D rings on out as well. Where is the GG push coming down? How long will Physics be able to survive in VIP?
Yeah, big from Tuhan to win that fight out. Just another point of pressure in towards VIP, and Physics eventually falls. Well, it's the GG we anticipated heading into this match. Maybe just a bit of a slow start in that first round as they look to build this pressure. The reattempt decision from Circular Spheres not appearing to pay dividends. Japer locked out over towards Freezer, saved in small bake, certainly not a favorable position. That angle's held, and Weddable's able to get a freebie. Saved, spots Fish.
Oh no.
Fish, spots saved. Saved wins the fight, but he needs to find 3 more.
Yeah, nice long angle as well from Wedables to lock it in for GG. Just a straight up and down round from the best team in the region. Can't say much more than that. Can't ask for much more than that from these boys. I think it was about a minute and a half in, and Fisher's already found his entry onto site looking for that plant. GG, just untouchable here. I mean, you've praised their attacks so far, and we're seeing it in the Force here on Cafe. I mean, a map that is traditionally so very hard to attack, and they're making it look, honestly, quite easy.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
You're right there, guys. You got a funny
No,
look
I feel
on
like
your
I'm
face.
hearing the voice. I thought it was some sound in the game or something, but I think I'm just going
Are you
insane.
getting trolled?
I think so.
And let's see something funny I've just noticed in the operator lineups, guys. We've talked a lot about ops. We've mentioned the striker a few times. The only operator picked by GG every single attack so far is striker. Have you got any interesting stats? I know you've been a bit of a stats man when it comes to operators
You want
recently.
some striker numbers,
I would
maybe?
love some striker numbers because I think in the right place at the right time, he can be as powerful as any other operator, despite not bringing a primary gadget, just, you know, the double secondary gadgets. But, you know, good gun, secondary shotgun, and the ability to bring frags and flashes has proven to be so valuable, especially when a team knows how to control the map like GG do on Cafe.
Yeah, globally, Striker has a pick rate of 12% and a win rate of 41.
Okay, it's not actually great.
So the win rate is lagging behind the general average for attack at the moment.
Which is...
Oh, well,
Don't have that off.
I don't have
Don't
the
have that
exact
off the
number,
top.
but
But he's not near the top, I'm guessing, in terms of win rate.
nah.
I'm reloading.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, GG are certainly making good use of him. Brendo here on the south rappel. This is where you would typically see teams look for a peek from Garage. Saved is tempted to do that. He has the impacts to enable it as well. He's being watched. I think he's being baited as well. Weddable's able to get killed. I don't know what happened there. Brendo was watching the angle, but he must have stopped watching at the worst possible moment. Weddable's going to be quite frustrated there. He thought his teammate was covering him, but Sage still gets away with his life.
Yeah, again, Circular Sphere is able to get away with a bit of a rat play, and they now have the advantage to play into. Save, though, is low on HP, so he can probably prime himself for a late flank.
Oh, this is aggressive.
Very aggressive.
Very nice from Sage. He's going to try and backstab the player in Piano, but they've already taken him out. And now he's also being able to watch the flank as well. Still one air jab in pocket, able to be utilized. They know that Save was downstairs and they can quickly take him on out. So I guess it doesn't matter, you lose the opening pick. It's a 4v1 on site, and GG can absolutely abuse that cocktail player. Again, straight up and down attack. That's 3 in a row here for GG.
That honestly just felt like a ranked round, right? Your first attacker gets run out on because of a bad timing. Brendo looks away at the absolute perfect moment. You can see it there on the free cam. Look,
Oh man,
bottom left.
the timing. Look at this. He's watching. He stops watching this second Bro, that is tilting from Brendo. That is the epitome of Siege timing.
Yeah. Didn't matter though, the rest of the team just went, okay, let's send it. Didn't get stalled out, didn't play the util game. Sage found ground top white, cleared that entire corridor, and they knew that everyone else was going to be in those key power positions, and they were cleared with, you know, saved cut off in the rotation back, so. I
seem to recall a conversation last play day about Sage. He really had a great last game, if I remember, but I think people was, you know, at least here in the studio, were kind of ragging on him, which I didn't really get. I mean, he's currently sitting as the 5th best player in the region by EPS. And he's never been a star player on GG. He's been known as Mr. Consistent. And I feel like he's still really embodying that at the moment. He's not like a star fragger. He's not the mastermind support player that we praise Fisho to be. But Sage just feels like such a flexible player and someone that is so consistent for GG, always delivering.
I would love to plot out the EPS ratings for all the GG players over the last 18 months.
Do you mean to look like at a variance factor to see how...
Yeah, just to see like how volatile each player is. Because I feel like Sage would at least feels like he is.
Because I'm not much of a stats man, but I remember in high school being taught the word variance, and it's like, yeah, what's the average difference between like your highest and lowest stat? I feel like that's a really interesting number to me because it does kind of replicate or at least embody how consistent these players are, because we talk about that all the time. We very rarely see that in numbers, right?
Yeah, like in my opinion, consistency is one of the greatest attributes to have as a Siege player because Siege is a very difficult game to be consistent in, especially across patches as well.
Aggressive here from Brendo. Banshee taken down. The timing is really nice here from GG, all moving in together to take this top floor. Control, hello! Physics, unaddressed, takes a bit of damage. Jape has also found one. I don't exactly know how this re-aggression came to play. And all of a sudden, GG that looked really solid now in an awkward spot. Wedable's trying to win out this 1v1, but he's kind of trapped here. And he does get the revive up, but it doesn't matter. Physics closes out that controller cocktail, but that was a very peculiar round.
Oh, it's just rat plays. That is the CS strategy. It's quite evident throughout this match. The amount of jump outs and rat plays we've seen so far, clearly with mixed success. But from there, it was pretty simple for Physics. Just sits and waits. A very lackadaisical clear, I will say, from GG. The mute jammer doesn't help in terms of drones, but...
Yeah. I mean, it's also the difference there, like you were spectating Fish. You know when you like clear an angle, but you're not actually expecting someone to be there, so you're looking there, but you're not actually ready to take the fight. That's pretty much what happened there for Fish.
Half clear.
The half clear. It's like, I'm checking it because I'm pretty sure there's no one there, and I'm just checking, but I'm not ready to actually take a fight if I do see someone. Bit awkward. Still, the half is essentially already met the pass mark for GG, right? Now they're just gunning for their 4th round.
I hate to say it, but Jake may actually be right. If GG don't have a clean tertiary defense, 7-3 is honestly the most likely scoreline from this point in time.
Look, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that GG are going to win it, and it's going to be reasonably comfortable. 7-3, I think, is a pretty decent average guess. Let's not make out Jake to be some kind of prophet or anything.
Only because I called him out and predicted a 7-2. I'm going to stick to my guns. Still very much possible from this point onwards. Don't get that misconstrued. GG on defense on Cafe, I think, are going to be incredibly difficult to break down. And it's going to be full focus here in round 6 just to make sure they go in with the advantage. Just probably making sure this time around they're a bit more due diligent. It's very clear from this point in time that Circular Spheres are not afraid to jump out, hide in rat corners, go for surprise plays. Killman prepping
run out.
A jump out. As there is a run out right on cue.
How are GG not covering that, man?
Pretty common.
Oh, there we go. There is at least a refrag there from Tuhan.
It must just be so frustrating to play against if you're GG, though.
Yeah. But this is Cafe for you. Like, everyone knows this is how Cafe works. And you know you're playing against Circular Spheres.
Doesn't make it any less annoying.
Yeah. I mean, we're running Nomad and 2 Claymores.
True.
And still 2 air jabs in pocket. The Claymores have been deployed. I'm not sure exactly. Okay, I can see one right in front of Tui. Oh, sorry, in front of Sage there. Oh, speaking of, the Devil, Killerman is going to shut him down very quickly from that window rappel. Awkward now. GG trying to get in the building. Bit of a desperate rappel in. But Tui's found his 2nd of the rounds. And another rappel in from him does put GG back into the world of possibility. Beautiful shot there from Tuhan. And now the newbie earns his stripes in a 1 versus 2. And Nate is surely going to force out the position from Physics. But he jiggle peeks it and wins the headshot. Let's see this in instant replay. Tui's going to be tilted about that one. A nice shot. Land CS their third round as we close the half.
Okay.
Sometimes you just get done like that.
Man, and Tuhan was looking sharp, just straight off the back of the one tap. Followed it up with a perfectly placed grenade, but apparently the UMP is a demon weapon. Newsflash. The aggression, though, again, put GG on the back foot. Sure, it was traded in the end, but still disrupted that attack pattern a little bit. There's the one tap. Killerman had another good round, so credit to him as well. And physics proving difficult to clear. A 3-3 scoreline at the half. We didn't see the tertiary site played once. It was just exclusively above and kitchen, I believe, unless I'm going insane. I feel like maybe I've made a mistake in saying
oh, no, we did see reading once. It was the one that CS won.
True, sorry, that was the round that was over in about 30 seconds with the half clear
We never
above.
saw anyone actually on the site.
It was such a forgettable round.
Yeah.
That's why I was like hesitating when I finished my sentence. But,
Yeah.
5 seconds left.
yeah, let's see what GG have stored up here. As I mentioned before, mining globally
Heading out to the diffuser
has been played quite a lot. It is, though, the weakest site defensively here on Cafe.
That said, it does come down to how good teams are at attacking it. Ooh, bit of damage, but not an overpeak. Oh, wow, jump out from Wettables. Okay, that's your hard breacher going down, and all you lose is your Vigil. That's a fair exchange if I've ever seen one for GG.
I don't know if I love or hate this, James, because typically I'm critical of Cafe being the most boring linear map ever, but all we've seen tonight is anything but linear attacks. And it's also rubbing me off the wrong way. Imagine how annoyed you are right now. You've just lost your hard breach to Wettables jumping out. But it is a bit of payback, to be fair.
It is. Well, we saw a lot of run-outs, and now we've seen an aggressive peak. I don't even know where that was from Brendo. I think that was just from in Cocktail contesting the windows. And already CS are having to figure out, okay, well, we're already versing a bomb site, which is very awkward and requires a lot of map clearing. And now we're a player down. We don't have hard breach. We don't have the Lion.
Saved on the Finker again. He's been playing a lot of Finker LMG this stage. Comfort pick for him. LMGs, as of recent, have gotten a bit of love, but haven't really forged themselves back into the meta like days of old. So 3 versus 4, and Save takes ground over towards red. Trying to find an angle inside onto Fisho Guy, who is on ping.
Yeah, they got a drone underneath the train. So they're going to be able to keep calling where Fisho is. Potential for a wall bang. Saved tries to sneak his way forward, but he's got to be worried about the position here. And he baits out the re-peek there from Fisho. That's great. Might be able to win this angle as well. No, Tui gets him. And the even 1-for-1 favors GG on the defense.
That the double swing ready. Anyway.
Get this fucking destroyed, bro.
Yeah. Tuhan's, he's been good. He's been so good this stage. There's been a lot of chat about how he may perform in Montreal under the assumption that they qualify. I've heard mixed opinions, including even Vinny on the desk, maybe suggesting that he could succumb to pressure.
Well, yeah, well, that's the thing that comes to my mind is Brendo in Copenhagen, right? Like, Brendo, the best player in OCE at the time, and really struggled in Copenhagen, as did the whole team, to their credit. Like, they got knocked out by Wolves. Sorry, no, they actually got knocked out by W7M Avowal. I'm not even sure if they ended up playing Wolves.
Their first game was against W7M on this map.
Yeah,
I remember casting it. It was quite great.
They lost that, and then they also lost to Varel, which is now Kinnetrope. So I don't even think they played Wolves, even though they were in the same group.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But yes. Yeah, that doesn't bode well. I mean, Brendo, obviously, now that he's been to a couple international events, he's come back into form. But yeah, I still feel like as much as I don't want to be a pessimist, I'm kind of sitting on the side that I think Tui might struggle a little bit if he makes Montreal.
And that's, like, to be clear, that is nothing on him personally. It's just the amount of historical data we have on OCE teams going overseas. It takes them so long typically to, it takes multiple events to get to a competitive level, if they ever do.
And I feel like culturally, there's something a little bit different. I don't know if you agree with this, and I'd love to hear your take. But being an OCE player going overseas is different to being like a rookie in NA that goes and plays their first international event, or a rookie in EU. The difference is, like, coming from OCE, not only do you have that I'm a rookie thing, but also, like, I'm from the underdog region that no one expects to do anything thing. And that's a whole different ball game. Like, you're not used to scrimming against, you know, Canadian or, you know, Fabian or Spoit every week. So as soon as you go and you're actually facing these really famous names who have won championships before, there's that extra added element of being from that underdog region.
Yeah, I think objectively, there's the scrim quality locally is clearly far worse. Oh, good start from save. But then also the more subjective nature of, or mental aspect of potential imposter syndrome, as you're sort of suggesting, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's I hadn't thought of the word, but imposter syndrome encapsulates it perfectly. Wedables starting to feel like a bit of an imposter here in Bakery, but no, he says, actually, we're closed for the day. Neptune loses his head. That's the Capital gone. No more util from him to clear out Wedables' position.
Yeah, the Bolt there, not probably in the best of positions, and no one holding down the line to punish the swing from Wet, who is no doubt probably getting information fed his way. I see Brendo flicking a cam in Bakery.
Gnarly shots.
Same angle. Flashes to come through. They must pounce.
Oh, this is aggressive, though. He goes inside. Wedables does lose his life. A nice re-pick, but Physics finds both of them. Sage at least got something. And the Yokai also dispatched with 2v3 now for Fish and Tuhan. As that gas may enable a little bit of movement here from Tui. But he doesn't exactly know where to play. He wants to try and get aggressive. GG know they need to find a pick back. But it's not going to be easy. And Fish is caught in a very awkward spot. Needs to find this re-peak. Physics bites off a little bit more than he can chew. Another shot from Fisho guy on the site. Never count out the captain, never count out the anchor. It's all up to Saved now in this 1v2. But damn, does he have the gun for it. Infamous for the LMG, but it's got nothing on one little slippery fish on the site. GG looking to lock down those defenses.
Yeah, and you're actually talking to me before this game in terms of survival percentage for this GG roster heading into the night. Outside of Hunter, who's the highest at 51%, the next 5 players are all from GG. And
oh, bloody team.
One of those being, of course, Fish. And a really good round there, being able to lock down that anchor position, worked well with Tuhan. They had that cross established. Tuhan more focused over towards Small Bake, and then Fish had to hold down the line, who, despite potentially being exposed to both Bakery and Prep, was able to land those timings, use the SMG so effectively, which is one of his greatest traits.
I mean, you got to have someone on your team who can just own and clutch up with the SMG-11, because let's be real, every team's got to have it. Every team's got to have that guy that's stuck on, like, you know, the tiny little SMG with 17 bullets in the mag, and he's spending his entire prep phase putting down 4 mute jammers and opening up 16 rotate holes and 4 vertical angles and probably shot calling and calling, you know, the teammate, oh, actually put your castle barricade here this round. Yeah, that's Fisher guy for you, and he loves it.
He's been doing it for a long time now.
Yeah.
When did he start playing? Was it
the
very first season?
I've got, no, he was playing in the scene in ranks around the first season of OCE Pro League, but I'll just get the numbers up because I do actually have that, but you might have to bear with me for a minute.
This is a test of your efficiency.
Oh, this is the test of me not having my keyboard connected, which is not great. I can't control F and search Fisho's name without my keyboard connected. But he played back in the day for, actually on the same team as Vinny at one point on the desk.
Wow.
I've got his debut being in 2018, March 2018, 6.5 years ago.
Wow.
And that was his pro debut. You know, that doesn't account for any other teams he might have joined before joining a professional team.
OCE did have competitive play at a tier 1 level later than the major regions.
The CG ladder with $0 up for grabs was the most competitive region you've ever seen. Teams would challenge each other. We had this team called Maelstrom, which was just the best in the region back in like 2016. Everybody was shit scared of them. It was amazing.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, and Fisher Guy's first team was called Team Tahoot.
Any familiar names on the rest of the roster?
Oh, that was... I can't even find that, to be honest. So long ago. Tui, though. Don't think he was even born back in the day when Fish was playing on Team Tahoot. But he's found his entry, as he always seems to do. Such a good fragger. But as you said before, also so good at staying alive consistently. Like, how is it that Tuhan is an entry fragger with the 2nd highest survival rate in the league?
Yep, crazy. Absolutely insane. Saved in Pillar. Will he get a timing onto Tuhan in Hell? Let's see. An awkward dance between the two. Neither's position really known, but Tuhan does have the sound cue. maybe just waiting for a bit of safety. We'll just play this position, tucked away, minute on the clock, so time will become an issue for the attack. And Tuhan gets his second.
Yeah, this is desperate now for Killerman and Neptune. The E1D enables a little bit of movement, but Tui bites off a little bit more than he can chew, going for a flank. Wettables locks in the final 2 kills, though. Easy as you like for the best in the region. GG now with their match point. I hate to say it, but Jake's prediction's looking pretty solid.
I'm actually kind of tilted, I can't lie.
I think Jake even called the 3-3 half, didn't he? I think he said 3-3 half and then GG sweep on defense.
He may have.
We're not going to hear the end of it, are we?
Nope. Yeah, clean work there from Tuhan. Didn't even really have to engage with his utility all that much. I don't know how many drones he was actually able to confuse, but nonetheless, we go back over towards mining. It's where the half started for GG, and so they'll repeat the same rotation. Able to make this site work, and as you alluded to before, an objective that can actually probably favor one-sided matchups like this, because weaker teams tend to not have as much experience attacking into this side, especially at an OCE level.
And I feel like the read from GG is at least what we saw last time they played this site. Get hyper aggro, go for spawn peaks, just don't make this a 5v5 execute, because that's how you lose these weak bomb sites, by having a 5v5 where the attack can read your setup, counter it. So go for aggressive peaks, take a lot of fights, heal up with the dock, and then hopefully in the end of the round, Circular Spheres is going to have like a 2v2 and they're going to walk into Capcan traps and Legion Mines. That's my read of this setup.
The castle mute set up here from GG is disgusting. Can't believe they're actually running that.
I think they've tried to turn Piano into a little bit of a fortress upstairs.
Yeah.
Has been located.
I mean, it could be a case of they're trying to bait in the melee for a Nitro opportunity. Wouldn't be too shocking. But obviously, it goes without saying, Sledge is the best counter for this setup.
Oh,
Nitro. Oh,
almost.
he wanted it.
Considered it for a second. In Cafe these days, that angle that you used to be able to get from the roof through the hatch over the top red wall, it's gone now.
Really?
Yeah, they patched that angle.
That is news to me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've played Cafe in about 12 years, but
I think
I
is
heard,
it actually not there?
I'm pretty sure they
You've seen it or you've heard it?
I saw it on Twitter at one point. I don't know if they've unpatched it since I saw it. Early pick and then an early throw from Brendo. Bit of a weird moment, not respecting the hatch being opened.
Grenade to clear mint. Position already vacated. So a 4 versus 4, and Japer will progress over towards Cigar. I don't know how powerful ARX can be with the magnified scope. Wettables looking to lock down his pixel position, but looking to peel back, chip away at that drone economy. Still 6 drones, I mean, for CS, so certainly a strong position for them to be able to gather information through the mid-round.
That drone's still alive as well. Japer does need to make good on the information provided to him. And yeah, Wettables has just slipped back into White Hallway again, found Killerman. Dodging behind some soft walls is dangerous territory. And he finds another one. Beautiful shot with that SMG-11. And it looks like this may be the end of the road here for Circular Spheres. Physics and Neptune look to finally take that top floor, but GG have fallen back and consolidated their defense.
I got nervous when I saw that swing. I thought, wet, surely not. That's potential overpeak, but lands his shot. All but confirms the round here for GG. And the match as well, surely from here. Neptune and Physics. Double stack white stairs, and it's a shotgun to greet them.
Oh, Wettables is just waiting here for the freest double of his life. There they both are. And it's GG. It always has and it always will be. Circular Spheres simply cannot get the ball rolling today. And the best team in the region continues their flawless form here in OCE League.
Yeah, the only disappointing thing for GG is it does take a bit of a hit on that attacking win rate, unfortunately, just due to the nature of the start sides, but not really much they could do to avoid that. 3 rounds still strong in that first half, and then a very clinical defense to conclude. So, yeah, another good day at the office for GG. They were tested a little bit with some of the intriguing gameplay elements that CS tried to bring inside of the server, but they shut it down pretty well.
Well, let's toss it back to the desk where I expect a very smug Jake is waiting to tell us all about his prediction.
Go on. You may as well. I'm not even going to bother.
I
You
mean,
may as well.
I did get it right. I
You
said
did.
3-3 half into the 4-0 second half. I mean, look, it doesn't take a rocket scientist, though.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, to be fair.
Otherwise, Mandy would still be
I
here.
was going to say, man, unfortunately, we don't have a rocket scientist anymore. That land it doesn't land as well as
If it
it
took a
used
rocket
to.
scientist, I know one.
I know. We'll call her up real quick and get her thoughts on the match. But before I go and call Mandy, obviously, a good performance from GG after just a close first half. You know, I think CS did what they needed to. I was decently impressed by CS. They seemed a little bit tame, even though we saw a lot of run-outs, jump-outs. They still seemed like they were quite competitive in the first half.
Yeah, I think that's the way to play on Cafe as well, especially against a team like GG. You just have to throw a bit of chaos in there, get the run-outs, get some early picks, just try to sort of destabilize their attacks. But on the other hand, I thought GG played a different game today than we generally see from them. We saw like very quickly they were trying to take top floor control, rappelling on all the windows, using flashes to get in. It's something a little bit different to what we normally see.
Yep.
We normally see them go really structured, really, formulaic in their attacks, but today was a bit different. It looked like they were playing more on opportunity rather than just like set game plans.
Well, we definitely saw it in the Labs game last week, nearly pulling the little hair I have left out of my head. But it is time for us to welcome in Sage for the very first time since play day one. And Sage, you already know my question. What's your thought? No, I'm kidding. I'm not going there.
Hello.
I'm not going there. How you been, mate? Look, the roster's looking as good as ever, and it feels like today, again, just further cements part of that conversation of the competitive nature. You guys are constantly showing, doesn't matter what map, doesn't matter what team, you're there.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, our map pool's deep enough that if you see us on a map, we play it, and we play it a lot. So, yeah, no matter what the map is, no matter who we're playing, we're going to show up with intent. Yeah.
Oh, intent. Nothing short.
Yeah, I'll go. I don't know if you just caught what I just said, but I was saying today you guys looked a little bit
I did,
different. Yeah. A little bit less
Yeah.
formulaic, more opportunity. I think a lot of people sort of thought maybe with the Oda to Tui switch, that was more the sort of game plan you guys want to bring into the future. Is that still the plan?
It's less to do with the switch and more to do with, I think, Titan's philosophy, if I'm honest. So today, for example, we saw that they're a team that we haven't seen them on Cafe, of course. I don't think they've ever played it. But we thought they probably don't have the best power positions to repel, the fast kind of hits. So yeah, we thought we could catch them off guard by going fast. We did pretty well. We weren't really happy with our attacks, to be honest. But 3-3 against CS, they're a very good defending team. So credit to them. But yeah, fast game plan worked out pretty well, I guess.
Sage, we're getting a little bit closer and closer, of course, to playoffs. That's when we know everything, the stakes rise, and we get into best of threes, things change up. What's really the message over the last couple of play days? I guess now 2 more play days after this one has now concluded, going into the playoffs. Are you guys doing anything different in terms of preparation for it, or is it just one day at a time, play your games, keep focused, stay locked in?
For now, it's one game at a time. Once we've locked in number 1 spot or number 2 spot, we'll maybe have a discussion about where we should go from there. Maybe replay a map or something, who knows. But for now, it's just there's everything to lose still. So every game is still just as serious for us.
Now, Sage, I'm going to ask you
one week at a time.
Apologies, I'll cut you off there. Why not?
Sure.
I want to ask you this question. Fisho is having a very good stage right now. And I know you've just touched on Titan's changes to the team. Titan obviously spoke to us last week at great length as to the changes that have been made and the reshuffle and everything. What's the difference between Fisho Stage 1 and Fisho Stage 2? Because he's just been a completely different beast. Is it purely just the system?
I think so. I think the thing about Fish in Stage 1 was he was a hard IGL. Every round he was calling what we're doing, directing the team, which takes a lot of brain power. And it also stops you from playing. No matter how good you are as an IGL, you'll be worse as a player individually if you're IGLing. But now we play with, Titan said, 5 callers. Fish still calls a lot. He's a great leader. He calls a lot of great plays. But he also has the freedom to play his game a lot more. And it just shows he's always been that skilled of a player, I think.
Yeah.
But what you don't see on the observer feed is all the calling he's doing behind the scenes, all the effort he's putting into making sure we're doing the right thing. Fish has always been this good. I'll say that right now. He's just a little bit more free.
I just wanted to quickly butt in because you mentioned the 5 callers things. Of course, we spoke to Titan about it last week. Is there almost a priority order when it does come to that? Does someone like a Tuhan maybe say a little bit less than others? Because it just seems to me on the surface, he's got this kind of license to just frag and roam, do what he kind of wants to do. Or is he calling just as much as everyone else? Because if he is, that's quite exceptional.
It depends on the map and the roles, but yeah, Tui does call. Tui's a great caller, to be honest. Tui and Brendan, you wouldn't know it by watching them play because they're such great fraggers. They always seem locked into, getting kills and doing their thing. But they're actually very vocal players. They can take charge of the round.
That's insane because to throw Vinny under the bus, he was saying, someone like Pat, he can call, but then he's going to go 0-12.
Yeah, I mean, that's the effect of being IGL. Like I said,
yeah,
it's a lot harder to play your game.
It's a tough role, but look, I think
sure.
across the board, first couple of play days, everyone was questioning what's going on. You guys stood up to the plate when it mattered most, and now, I mean, from our side of things, it just looks like you're solidifying what this roster looks like heading into playoffs, which is even more terrifying. So we'll leave it on that. Sage, do you have anything you'd like to say before we do let you go?
Thank you to all the fans. Thank you to GAIMIN GLADIATORs. And thank you to you guys for producing our matches.
No worries.
Thank you very much.
I do like to press the buttons, and I'm going to press you away. Thank you very much, Sage.
For hosting our matches.
That's all right. Look, we get called many things. Sometimes words that we can't say on broadcast, but we do get called many things on this show. Just solidifying the conversation a little there, Jake. It does feel as though the significant change that is being made, obviously behind the scenes, is allowing certain players to flourish, but the whole team overall to kind of come together to make these calls.
Yeah, and it's a real testament to the players as well. It's a change up for a lot of them in terms of their environment. You think probably pre-Titan, you would have had that more standardized, say, one primary call, and now everyone has to be involved in that. And clearly, if Tuan's calling is just as much as everyone else, and he's fragging the way that he is, and I think right now would have a case through 5 play days as being regarded the best player in the region.
Yep.
But this stage, I don't think there's really much of a debate. It's incredible, but it also really highlights how much the team as a whole really helps just enable everyone. Even like there was one of the jump outs as well where it was Wet and Tuhan fires a shot, Wet then jumps out. Sure, he only gets the 1 kill, does get traded, but it's those kind of little mini plays that GG just have in terms of synergy, the ability to communicate, play off each other. They play like a team. It's not just a solo play. Wet's not just jumping out by himself.
No.
They've done it systematically. So, dominant performance, and they're the Rolls Royce. They're rolling on through as always.
The Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
Now, Vinny, heading into tonight, obviously things were, I guess, pretty much cemented for GAIMIN Gladiators. Do we see them finishing anything but flawless this stage?
Nah, I think for sure they're going to finish off the stage without dropping a map.
Yep.
I probably don't even see them dropping any more points against any of those sort of other teams that they're playing against. I think I had them at like a 9.7 on the power ranking. They look almost perfect at the moment.
Yep.
Sage said they were a little bit disappointed with their attacks, but I actually think they should be really happy with themselves. I mean, the playstyle they were bringing tonight is not probably something they're super comfortable with, and playing super aggressive on your attacks and taking map control early isn't a comfortable way to play, especially if it's not something you're used to. Obviously, they were used to Fisho doing more of the calling last stage, so having everybody calling, and I think when they say people like Tui and Brendo are calling, I think it's more of a sort of a general term.
Generic.
I think it's more like they'll shot call stuff when they see it. It's not like they're IGLing the whole round.
Yep.
But yeah, I think they're doing a really good job. I think they've found a good balance with Titans coaching, and I mean, like I said, I don't see them dropping many points this stage.
No, they've looked very good, but two teams who have looked a little shaky this stage, Antic and Supernova, they go head to head after this break.
Attackers bomb the